Well, we'll give Bob a few minutes, and I think so, that's usually what we've done.
Yeah, she's at 15 minutes.
That's unusual, Bob.
Yes, typically.
Tim.
Yeah, Tim's
This is about when Tim will come in, yeah.
Yeah. Tim's always right on. He has it timed perfectly, right? Yeah. If he gets that extra traffic light, he's late.
Let's give him like
the board will hear,
South Fayette Cove Region.
right, pursuant to our rules, they're allowed to continue. Paul should
yeah, but it continued.
Yeah, we have two of them that got moved.
They yesterday after.
We have Dave Snow. Okay,
That's appropriate, yes.
okay, all right. So we'll just delay the meeting till about 6:15 and see if our other commissioner shows up. So bear with us, please. We were waiting, buddy. Good evening. This is September 7th, 2022, Seminole County Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. My name is Steve Smith, chairman for tonight's meeting. Would you please stand for the pledge? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Before I get into the opening, I wanted to make sure that the public is aware that we have two items that have been moved to the October agenda. We have a comprehensive, number 2, the comprehensive plan text amendment, future land use for potable water, for that's going to October 5th, and the Alfea Cove rezone is being continued to October 5th. If anybody has comments, cards filled out for that, if you could hold on to them till the October 5th meeting, because I don't think we really have any way of filing them or keeping track of them at that point. So anyway, I wanted to make you aware of that. Moving on. This board is a 7-member board appointed by the Board of County Commissioners. A quorum has been established to hold tonight's meeting. Public items acted upon by this board are referred to the Board of County Commissioners for further consideration. Board members present tonight is Dan Lopez, Walter Gundorf, and Bob Turnage. Staff present tonight is Mary Markowitz, our attorney Paul Chipak, Bill White, engineer, Doug Robinson, and Joy Giles, senior planner, Annie Silloway, senior planner, and Stacy Henry, clerk to the PC board. Tonight's meeting will go as follows. Staff will introduce the item. The applicant will present the item. Audience members wishing to speak will then be heard. Please make sure you complete a comment card and give it to the clerk. Comment cards are located in the lobby. Audience speakers should restrict their comments to information directly related to the item being heard. Audience speakers will have 3 minutes to speak, 6 minutes if representing a group. When called, speakers should approach the microphone, providing their name and address for the record. The board may ask questions of the speaker. After all speakers have been heard, public comments will be closed. The applicant will be given a chance for rebuttal. Any items shown, such as video, presentation, pictures, maps, must be left with the clerk for public record. Items shown from electronic devices should be emailed to the clerk. A motion will be made and seconded. The board discussion may occur and conclude with a vote. I will request a roll call vote for any split votes. First item on the agenda is Candace Park. Joe?
Proof of publication.
Oh, proof of publication, yeah. I need a motion.
Chairman, I move that we accept proof of publication.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Minutes from the previous meeting.
Move that we accept the minutes from the previous meeting.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Joy?
Yes, good evening. Joy Giles, Senior Planner for the Planning and Development Division. This request is for approval of the Cadence Park 2 preliminary subdivision plan on 31.87 acres located approximately 1,700 feet south of the intersection of North Ronald Reagan Boulevard and Red Pine Way. The PSP proposes 105 single-family residential lots on 31.87 acres with a maximum density of 3.74 units per net buildable acre with a minimum lot size of 6,000 square feet. The PSP complies with all conditions of the final development plan, development order, and Chapter 35 of the Seminole County Land Development Code. Staff recommends approval of the Cadence Park 2 preliminary subdivision plan as requested. Thank you.
All right, is the, let's see, is the owner or staff here?
The applicant is here, yes.
The applicant is here?
Good evening.
Good
My name is
evening.
Bill Mackey. I work with the Daily Design Group, 913 North Pennsylvania Ave, Winter Park, Florida. We're the applicants for this application. Cadence Park 2, we were here last month for the rezoning, the PD rezoning for this one, as well as Cadence Park. And if you remember, at that time, the PSP has already been approved for this one under Hidden Oaks. What we did is we requested to provide cross-access between the two communities and remove what was the primary access on South Lane, and now that's emergency access. So the purpose of this is just coming through with the PSP to codify what's already been approved with the zoning and everything in the last 2 board meetings. One of the things from the meeting last month that we did discuss was we are relocating, or we're not relocating, we're shifting where the existing park is within Cadence Park Phase 1. Now it's going to be a part of this phase. And you had asked us to respond to the residents about safety for the park against the roundabout or against the cul-de-sac. So what we agreed to is to do a 48-inch aluminum fence along the right-of-way, added landscape, and then we also put fencing around the rest of it to enclose the park, provide a sense of security. And then further, one of the things that the community was talking about was they were worried about traffic speeding through there. So we elected to put in a landscape median in that cul-de-sac too, to provide a visual barrier, just a clue that you're going between 2 different areas. So other than that, like I said, this is already an approved PSP in a sense, and we're just seeking your approvals tonight. I'm here to answer any questions that you may have.
Do we have any questions from the board?
No, just,
All right, well, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Motion? I don't think this is a public issue, is it? Do we have anybody from the public that wishes to speak on this? Okay.
I make a motion to approve the preliminary subdivision plan for the Cadence Park 2 subdivision.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item
2 is done.
Item 2 has been postponed. Item-
Point of clarification, Mary. For items 2 and 3, are they continued administratively, or was it just a request from the applicants?
So both of these items have been requested by the applicants to continue, and both requested the October 5th P&Z meeting.
So if we could have a motion for the continuance on each one, that would be
Okay.
appreciated.
All right, on item 2, comprehensive plan text amendment, future land use.
Make a motion to continue to October for the item number 2.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 3, Alphalia Cove rezone, continue to October 5th. Motion?
Make a motion to continue Alafaya Cove rezone to October 5th.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 4, innovative solar covered storage. Annie?
Good evening, Annie Silloway, Senior Planner with Development Services. I'll be presenting Innovative Solar, Small-Scale Future Land Use Map Amendment and PD Rezone. I just wanted to state before I present that I received an email today, September 7th at 4:48 p.m. by Nancy Dunn. I have distributed the email to the board members. This request is to consider a small-scale future land use map amendment from commercial to plan development and a rezone from C2 retail commercial to PD plan development for a proposed solar-covered RV storage facility on approximately 5.73 acres located along South Orange Blossom Trail, approximately 460 feet north of Center Street. The applicant is requesting a small-scale future land use map amendment and a rezone to planned development in order to develop the subject property as a proposed recreational vehicle and boat storage facility with solar canopies, with an ancillary office use, an M1A very light industrial, and C2 retail commercial uses. The subject property currently has a zoning of C2 retail commercial and a commercial future land use designation, which allows for general retail commercial development. The site is currently a vacant parcel that has been zoned C2 retail commercial since the Seminole County Land Development Code was implemented in 1970. The parcel to the east is an existing planned development called Public Storage that was approved by the Seminole County Board of County Commissioners in 2020 to allow for self-storage with an ancillary office use and a maximum intensity of a 0.65 floor area ratio. The applicant is only proposing an FAR of 0.5 for the proposed site. The parcel to the north is the existing Bear Lake Forest single-family neighborhood zoned R1A single-family dwelling. The property to the west of the subject site is located in Orange County, which per the Orange County property appraisers has an industrial zoning and future land use which are consistent with the permitted uses that the applicant is requesting within the planned development. The subject site is within the Wekiva study area and in a high recharge area. The proposed development will need to adhere to the requirements per the Comprehensive Plan Policy FLU 13.2B. The maximum area covered by structures and impervious surface shall not exceed 65% of non-residential uses, and no more than 25% of the required off-street parking spaces will not be paved. These limits have been prescribed in the development order and the master development plan. The proposed future land use map amendment and rezone to PD would be consistent with the surrounding uses and lower than the surrounding FAR intensity to the east and west. To achieve compatibility with the single-family residential use to the north, the project proposes a 25-foot setback and buffer and a 8-foot precast masonry wall. The developer is proposing tree preservation around the entirety of the site as shown on the master development plan. A more defined study to show tree preservation will be required at the time of final development plan. A community meeting for the subject property was held on May 9th, 2022, and approximately 8 people attended. A copy of the community meeting minutes and sign-in sheet are attached. And based on the preliminary analysis, there may be endangered and threatened wildlife on the subject property. A list of species survey will be required prior to final engineering approval. Seminole County and Orange County utilities are working together in obtaining agreement between the counties for utility service to this property. In order to provide the applicant with a utility letter of capacity for water, a condition has been added into the development order as condition P, stating that the letter will be obtained by final development plan as an engineered site plan. There is no sanitary sewer service that is available, and a septic tank is being proposed for the ancillary office use only. There is not a dump station being proposed for this site that would allow recreational vehicles to safely dispose of waste. Landscape buffers are to the north are 25-foot buffer with an 8-foot precast wall, and to the east and the west, a 10-foot buffer with a 6-foot metal fence. And then to the south, facing Orange Blossom Trail, would be a 25-foot buffer and a 6-foot precast masonry wall. But more detailed buffer components will be established at the time of the final development plan. And 25% of common usable open space will be provided on the subject property. Staff finds the request PD zoning classification to be consistent with the Land Development Code and the Seminole County Comprehensive Plan and compatible with the trend of development in the area. Staff recommends the Board of County Commissioners adopt the proposed ordinance enacting a small-scale future land use map amendment from commercial to planned development, and adopt the ordinance enacting a rezone from C2 retail commercial to PD planned development, and approve the associated development order and master development plan for approximately 5.73 acres located along South Orange Blossom Trail, approximately 400 feet north of Center Street. And that concludes my presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions for staff?
Yeah, could you talk a little bit more about the tree preservation? I remember last time we approved something like this. I think it was Chase Bank along International Parkway. They pretty much clear-cut all the live oaks to put up solar panels, which
I'm
kind
sorry.
of bothers me, but, you know,
Yeah, no, I'd be happy to
we're making
clarify.
solar power, but we're cutting down all the trees.
That makes oxygen.
Yeah, which helps clean the air, so
No problem.
I was a little conflicted.
That's okay. Yeah, I'd be happy to explain that. So it's just a preliminary plan. This is just the time of the rezone. So they're just showing what trees will be kept And we've had our natural resources officer take a look at it, but there will be a more detailed plan at the time of final development.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you. Any other questions for staff? Is the applicant present?
Yes.
Good evening. I'm Cynthia Blue. I'm a realtor with Fannie Hillman. My address is 122 South Park Avenue, Winter Park, Florida, 32789. And I am here tonight with the civil engineer on the project, Thomas Skelton, and then the developer, Richard Beavers. What we're proposing is a modern and sleek, innovative way to store RVs and boats. And we are going to incorporate solar panels. It will be gated. We'll have a generous tree buffer. And we have also reviewed all the staff report, and we do accept all the conditions. And as for the email, I would like to invite Tom Skelton to come up here and talk about the stormwater.
Thank you.
Evening, Tom Skelton, American Civil Engineering Company, 207 North Moss Road, Winter Springs, Florida, 32708 there. We received the email this evening there and reviewed it, and we will, during the final engineering, have to address the items, and I think Mr. White can confirm that as long as him and Mr. Potter are still here with the county, that they'll hold our feet to the fire on stormwater there. I've never gotten away with anything with the county, so we will make sure that it's designed properly and not affect the neighborhoods negatively.
Now, the solar power that you're generating, are you using it for your own purpose on the property?
It will be, I think Richard, the owner, could answer it more clearly, but it's for our use, but I'm not sure what else if they can take some of the solar and use it somewhere else on there in the area.
Just curious, that's fine. Any questions for applicant?
I don't know.
No.
Thank you, appreciate it. Is there anyone in the public that would like to speak on this issue? And seeing none? Any?
Could I ask staff, would you address the stormwater issue? Are you happy with the,
That would be with Bill White.
okay. Addressing the concerns of the email.
The concern is too close to Bear Lake, I guess.
That's what it looks like. He's going to take a brief look at the
Okay.
email and answer your question. Thank you.
There we go. Can you hear me? Oh, there we go.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
So in relation to the stormwater, they'll have to end up meeting our current criteria. As far as what they're showing right now, I believe, based on the dry retention, that they will be able to achieve it. But if they, at time of final engineering, if they don't demonstrate that they are meeting our requirements and not exceeding the pre-discharge to the north, then they would have to enlarge the stormwater that they're actually showing here. So this,
Okay, so
we're going to kind of view this as a concept plan.
Sure.
But he's got to demonstrate that at time of final engineering.
Okay.
Because based on the conversation, it's not all concreted in. It's natural drive on this.
Some kind of permeating surface?
Yeah, and then just areas will be concreted.
From my understanding, it's a paved roadway, but there are some parking spaces that you do see on the master development plan that are not paved per the comprehensive plan. Okay.
Any other questions for staff?
No.
Motion?
Move that we recommend the Board of County Commissioners adopt the proposed ordinance enacting a small-scale future land use map amendment from commercial to planned development, and adopt the ordinance enacting a rezone from C2, retail commercial, to PD, planned development, and approve the associated development order and master development plan for approximately 5.73 acres located on South Orange Blossom Trail, approximately 460 feet north of Center Street.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, next is Harmon 1 rezone. Joy?
So this is a request for a rezone from R1B Single Family Dwelling to R2 1 and 2 Family Dwelling on .24 acres located on the west side of South County Road 419, approximately 180 feet south of 8th Street. The applicant proposes to develop the subject property as a duplex in compliance with the R2 zoning classification. The property has a high-density residential future land use designation, which allows a maximum density of 20 units per net buildable acre and does permit the requested R2 zoning. The site consists of two 40-foot-wide platted lots within the North Chuliota subdivision plat. The plat is an antiquated plat, so when they were platted, there was no zoning lot size to meet at that time. The subject plat is considered an antiquated plat. Let's see. The individual lots do not meet the minimum lot size and lot width requirements for the surrounding R2 zoning classification. However, the subject lots have been combined together to yield one lot with a lot size of 10,640 square feet. The requested R2 zoning classification is consistent with the Seminole County Comprehensive Plan and is compatible with the surrounding trend of development in the area, which does consist of R2 zoning. And I believe there is a duplex directly adjacent on the north, and then a few lots up along 8th Street as well. There's duplexes there as well. In compliance with the Seminole County Land Development Code, the applicant did conduct a community meeting on August 4th, 2022. The staff recommends the Board of County Commissioners adopt the ordinance enacting a rezone from R1B to R2 on approximately .24 acres as requested. Thank you.
Any questions for staff?
No.
Is the applicant present?
Yes, yes.
Good evening. Nick Luckman on behalf of the applicant. We concur with staff review, staff report, and we're really here to answer any questions if you have any.
Do you have any questions for the applicant?
So when I look at this, because I don't know this area that well, seeing it on a map, it looks like there are some multifamily dwellings.
Quite a few, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
And then I see some single-family dwellings, but it looks like it's consistent with the area.
Yes, if I might. So there is a duplex on either side of the existing property, so it's not just on the one on both sides. So again, from a compatibility perspective, it kind of fits.
There's quite a few of them actually scattered in and out around that
Correct.
area.
Yeah.
Of Chuliota. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Any other questions for the applicant?
None for me.
No.
Thank you. Anyone in the public would like to speak on this item? Seeing none?
I recommend the Board of County Commissioners adopt the ordinance enacting the rezone of R1B single-family dwelling to R2 1 and 2 family dwelling on 0.24 acres located on the southwest of County Road 419, approximately 180 feet south of 8th Street.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item 6, Joy, you're up. You get the lion's share tonight, don't you?
Yes. Well, we share it equally. We just take turns. So this is a request for a small-scale land use map amendments from office to medium-density residential and rezone from A1 agriculture to R3A multifamily dwelling on 3.55 acres located on the west side of Ronald Reagan Boulevard, approximately a quarter mile south of County Home Road. The applicant proposes to develop a 26-unit townhome community on 3.55 acres for a maximum density of 9.85 dwelling units per net buildable acre. Each townhome dwelling will be a minimum of 1,498 square feet. As required by the Seminole County Land Development Code, the applicant did provide a development plan showing the general layout of the buildings, the circulation, the buffering, and the parking. The requested medium-density residential future land use designation allows a maximum of 10 dwelling units per net buildable acre and does permit the requested R3A zoning classification. There are approximately .92 acres of wetlands on the subject property, and the applicant will have to provide a 15-foot minimum, 25-foot overall average wetland buffer around all the wetland area. The development will access onto Ronald Reagan Boulevard, which is classified as a major collector road. Access will be limited to a right-in, right-out. The applicant proposes a 15-foot wide buffer on the east adjacent to Ronald Reagan Boulevard. It's actually not adjacent to Ronald Reagan. There are a couple of vacant parcels between, or I'm sorry, excuse me, I was thinking of 1792, pardon me. The development will provide a 15-foot buffer along Ronald Reagan Boulevard, and then a 10-foot buffer along the west, which is adjacent to a vacant parcel, and also a 10-foot buffer along the north, adjacent to the existing single-family residential subdivision. In addition to the required plantings, the developer will also construct a wall along the north perimeter adjacent to the existing residential development in order to provide, additional buffering for light and glare and noise. The development will provide a minimum of 25% open space, and utilities will be provided by Seminole County. The intent of the medium-density residential feature land use designation is to provide for a range of residential uses at a higher density, serving as an effective transition between more intense urban development and low-density residential. Per the comprehensive plan, the land use should be located on or in close proximity to arterial or collector roadways. And again, Ronald Reagan is a collector roadway. The R3 zoning classification permits one-story, two-story, and three-story apartment buildings, townhomes, and condominiums. The subject zoning classification requires a minimum perimeter building setback of 25 feet for one-story and 35 feet for two- and three-story buildings. And the development plan proposes a two-story townhome community, so there is a minimum of a 35-foot perimeter setback. The proposed development of 26 townhome units is consistent with the requested medium-density residential future land use designation and is compatible with the trend of development in the area, which consists of mixed development, residential, commercial, and office. Across the street, about less than a quarter mile down the road across the street, there is a commercial office. There's also a vet clinic, grooming establishment, and then on the same side as the subject site is the the Reagan Center PD, which was approved, I believe, back in 2015, and it has mixed use with multifamily, residential, and commercial. In compliance with the Seminole County Land Development Code, the applicant did conduct a community meeting on December 20th of 2021, and that information is in your agenda package. Staff recommends the Board of County Commissioners adopt a proposed ordinance enacting a small-scale future land use map amendment from office to medium-density residential, and adopt the associated rezone ordinance from A1 to R3A, and approve the associated development plan as requested. Thank you.
Any questions for staff? I've got one question, Joy.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Bill, is there going to be a problem with fire with the way this road is designed as far as fire accessing it and being able to get out of there?
No, there shouldn't be an issue with the fire because it'll be, I believe each side of the T intersection is less than 150 feet, so they'll use that T intersection as the turnaround.
As a turnaround? Okay, yeah, when I saw it, I was a little concerned about it, yeah.
And I did also want to mention, I know they listed as townhome units, but it's going to be one single property, so they're not going to be sold individually. It'll be one ownership parcel.
Okay, so they're going to be rental units as opposed to...
That's correct.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. That's why it doesn't show specifically right away.
Okay, and that project next door that's in the city of Sanford, that's townhomes also, is it not?
They're single family, they're detached, but they're
Okay.
35-foot wide
Lots.
is the minimum
Okay,
lot width,
okay.
yes.
All right. Huh?
Similar but not the same.
Yeah. Is the applicant present? Thank you, Joy.
My name is Stephen Ratcliffe with Ratcliffe Properties, 751 East Chapman Road, Oviedo, Florida. I'm the consultant on the project, here to answer any questions you may have.
Do we have any question for the applicant?
No.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone in the audience who would like to speak on the issue? Excuse me?
We'll get you one.
The forms are out in the lobby.
You want me to fill out before I talk?
That would be wonderful.
Yeah?
You can do it after.
Yeah, you can do it after? Okay, all right.
Katrina Shaddix, 1011 Seneca Oaks Trail, Geneva, Florida, 32732, Executive Director of Bear Warriors United, nonprofit organization that protects wildlife and their habitat. And the gentleman that was in before, the agenda item before, Rob Harmon, he is developing or putting a duplex on a piece of property in Chiliota, and I spoke with him when he had the required public meeting, and he agreed to let me and Native Plant Society go on to the property and do a bioblitz, and that's where we log all of the native plants and species that are on that property, and then allow us to remove those plants and wildlife before they clear the land. And so I'm hoping that this developer, this landowner would let us do the same thing, just to do a bioblitz of the land before it's cleared, and like I said, let us relocate any species that may be on there that wasn't listed on the environmental assessment report. And there's a lot of very protected plants that are near these wetlands, and usually isn't caught by the naked eye. And we have some really good experts in the county with Native Plant Society, and we do this service for free. We don't charge anyone. We just go in and relocate the essential plants, and we would love to do that if given the chance.
Have you contacted the owner regarding that?
No, this is, would it be him that just spoke?
I would.
Well, that's what I would do, so.
I would imagine so, yeah.
But maybe if like the planning and zoning could tell every developer who comes up, hey, why don't you do a bioblitz, let us remove, you'd have so much less resistance to development if we were just able to remove the essential plants and animals. That would be a great part of developing in Seminole County.
Thank you.
That's all, thank you.
I have a question. Just for my own knowledge, how is a bioblitz different from a listed species survey?
I can tell you exactly how. And a lot of times in Seminole County, the person who does that report that you're talking about, it's biotech, and it's headed by John Miklos, who intentionally leaves off protected species off that report, so it makes it easier to develop. For the Rivercross property, on pages 9 and 10 of his environmental assessment, he specifically left off bears and panthers that use that property, either to travel through or to live on, and they knew they were there, that they didn't list them, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. So the BioBlitz is a way to go behind to make sure that these plants and species are being protected and relocated and not having to depend on the environmental impact reports, which are, I would have to throw in a number out there, 95% of the time not accurate. For Deer Run, that environmental impact report left off 2 gopher tortoise burrows, live burrows. So it happens all the time. What they do is they do an assessment in about a day or 2, and proper assessment should be done over the period of a year, because that gives the different migrating patterns. And say bears have cubs every 2 years, and there's just different cycles of species and plants that can't be determined in just, a one-day assessment. So that's the difference.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right. Okay. Any other questions for staff or owner? Hearing none. Motion?
Move that we adopt the proposed ordinance enacting a small-scale future land use map amendment from office to medium-density residential, adopt the associated ordinance enacting a rezone from A1 agriculture to R3A multiple family dwelling, and approve the associated development plan on 3.55 acres located on the west side of Ronald Reagan Boulevard, approximately a quarter mile south of County Home Road.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And that is the agenda, closing business. Mary?
No report.
No report.
I mean, I can go longer if you want, you know, if you're planning on being here longer.
That's okay, yeah. Does the board have anything else they would like to discuss? All right, with nothing, meeting is adjourned.
All right.
Apologize for being...